Hey guys, welcome to RC Video Reviews. This is it. It is going to be the final PilotJam of 2023. I hope you guys had a fantastic year. I know I had a fantastic year, and all I can say is that I appreciate all of you. Everybody that's been part of the channel and has gone along for the ride, you know, to see where this little adventure takes us. I just appreciate everybody being part of it and, you know, being supportive and getting engaged and being on Discord and talking to me in comments and sharing with me your ideas. I just raise a glass to you guys and say Happy New Year's. I hope 2024 is as good as 2023 and better. I hope it's all up, looking up for everybody. So cheers to you guys. Happy New Year. Let's get this little party started. So tonight I figured we'd just fly low and slow and just take it easy. We're not going to do anything too technical tonight. I think this is a year just to reflect a little bit on what's going on. And as you can see in the little sidebars down there, I put some stats in that I thought were kind of interesting. It's fun to look back on the year when it's all done and said and done to see what's been accomplished. And it was certainly a lot of material this year. I think from the key stats aspect, 10.4 million watch time minutes on the channel, which is, to me, that's kind of staggering when I look at it. It's a lot. That's a lot of minutes of my videos being watched. 10.4 million. And I think Freddie only accounts for about 8 million of those. So Freddie, you know, I know Fred's a big fan and a big viewer, so I think he only accounts for about 8 million. So 2.4 million for the rest of the world. We're doing it. Anyway, I'm just goofing. 59,200 likes. Man, that's a lot. 59,000 likes is a lot. 8,234 subscribers added this year. Huh? That's not bad. That's growth. By the way, every one of these numbers that I'm talking about, every one of them except for one was a growth over a prior year. Substantial. I did 249 videos this year. If you can believe that. That works out to 0.68 videos per day if you count the weekends, and 0.95 videos per day if you don't count the weekends. So almost a video a day on the channel. That's, which, God bless, man, that's a lot of work. The one stat that actually went down was the live stream hours. We went down to 71 live stream hours. So that's down a little bit. So that tells me a little less live streaming this year than I did the prior year. And then 367,000 live stream views, 367,000 live stream views, and overall 2.3 million views on the channel for the year. 2.3 million views is not bad. Now I know, for, you know, in the grand scheme of the YouTube economy, that's a little tiny itty bitty channel. I get that, but still, man, 2.3 million views, it's a lot. There's a lot of people watching this stuff, so it's been good. And you guys, that I know you guys are on the PilotJam, you account for a lot of that. I know that. You guys are the close ones to the channel, and you tend to keep an eye on what's going on around here. So I just want to say thanks again and cheers to you guys. Happy New Year, right? Well, thanks for being part of the channel. Okay, and then I figured there's one other one that I wanted to do, and that's the top stats. Total comments. These are all over the life of the channel. 41,000 comments, 34,000 shares, 184,000 likes. The best click-through rate I saw was at 7.6, and you guys are all into the crashed airplanes. That was a laser crash video, 7.6. You guys see crash in the title, that's what you're telling me. You'll click on those. But why not, right? We love to watch stuff blow up. So when the laser crashed, everyone kind of clicked on that one. And then the most watched video, this was surprising to me. I was kind of blown away at this one. The most watched video was Intro to ExpressLRS, ExpressLRS for Novices. The most new subscribers came from Intro to ExpressLRS for Novices, and the most watch time came from Intro to ExpressLRS for Novices. I couldn't believe that, man. That video took #1 in 3 different categories: most watched, most subs, and most watch time. That was pretty impressive. I mean, you guys must have liked that video. And then the top 3 countries watching RCVR, United States, but you know, we got an unfair advantage with population density. United Kingdom was number 2 and Germany number 3. So that was, it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. So interesting. And I left the little, down on the bottom left corner, there's a list of videos. I'm not going to read those. 249 lines. You can watch it as it scrolls by, and we'll have a little fun checking that out, maybe reflecting on some of those. So anyway, let's get into the light game. Hobie came in swinging, man. He hit first. It's 6:37, about 4 seconds after the video posted. So how you doing, Shane? Glad you can make it. Arctic RC came in second. Dan Griffiths came in third. How you doing, Dan? Henry A says hi. Fast Freddy's here. Is this the pre-New Year's party? This is the cool kid party, man. This is where it's all gonna start, Fred. Four Eyes is here. How you doing? Good to see you. HB Jeff is here representing Canada. How you doing, my friend? Ben Papp, hi, how are you? Enrique, Ivan Howard, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Happy 2024. Rambo Flight Ken is here. Hello. Wowsy. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Let's see. Todd Koffler. Goodbye, 2023. Hello, 2024. That's right. Out with the old, in with the new, right? William Tam is here from Australia. How you doing, William? Good to see you. And let's see. Tom Evans. Hello. And I think that's it. Captain Bry is here. How you doing, Brian? Hey, Bry, you're gonna be popular tonight, man. Stick around. We're gonna talk about you. We're not you specifically, but you know what I'm gonna do. So stick around, Bry. Captain Bry is one of the guests of honors, by the way, because he's one of the guys that is just leading the charge and one of my favorite techs of the year. So stick around, Brian. We're gonna talk. Pigeon Brainy, we always like watching crashing stuff. Yeah, man, you get a crash video out there or something on fire, boy, you guys watch those. And then Pigeon Brainy, yeah, I'm number 3. Okay, good. All right, so we're not going to do the normal format tonight. There's not going to be a tech section tonight. There's not going to be a Q&A tonight. Again, I think this is just going to be a retrospective. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I enjoyed and some of the things that, you know, in looking back on the year, things that really put a smile on my face throughout the year in terms of radio control. And all I can say is just a great time to be in the hobby. I mean, it really is. There's so much development going on and so much innovation right now. It's a fantastic time to get into it. I also, just to clear, do a little housekeeping. Some of the links in the description are affiliate links. If you use those, I get a little kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Some are not affiliate links. Some are just reference links for things that if I don't have an affiliate, but I wanted to give them the airtime, I put those in there as well. So, check them out if you want. If not, that's fine. And I also want to raise a glass to my patrons and thank you guys. My patrons, thank you guys. I do appreciate you. All of those patrons who reach into their wallet and help me all through the year. You guys have no idea how much you help. It really does help because you guys open your wallets. You help me fund the channel. And while I'm working on it, we're improving every year. It is not a fully funded channel yet. So when you guys reach into your wallet and help me out, I do appreciate that. So I just want to raise a glass to all you guys who are part of the Patreon community. Thank you very much. And I can see Hobie already hit the tip jar. Hobie's a patron and he hits the tip jar. He's an amazing guy. Very generous, Hobie, man. I appreciate you. I see the David Knutz is in the house. He says he's late, but he's here. So that works. That works, David. Glad you can make it, my friend. All right, let's have a little fun. Let's talk about some goodies. We have a giveaway tonight, so make sure you hang around. I'm giving something away, so hang tight. I've got a giveaway. Got a giveaway. And you guys know the deal. The giveaway is going to be gimme, gimme, gimme in the comments right after the video's over. When the video posts on YouTube, you have to leave a comment. It'll say, gimme the thing, and I will do a random drawing, and we'll give it away next Friday on the next PilotJam, okay? So that's the deal. All right. First thing I wanted to do was cover my favorite charger of the year was the iCharger X6. And the reason this charger came on the heels of the fiasco that was the B6 Neo. And I hope you guys are still warning people about that. That thing remains a piece of junk. And I still get comments to this day about fan failures and cell connect errors and blah, 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 blah. So, yes, I have an axe to grind with them. And yes, I'm going to keep doing it until they stop misbehaving and until the retailers responsible for promulgating that junk on the community get rid of it. But in light of that, the X6, I finally broke down and bought the X6. And I have to tell you, for all of those folks out there who said, John, you got to try the X6, I resisted because the B6 Neo and the like, those are like $30, $40 chargers. This one's $100. So it's more expensive, but I got to tell you, It is just so competent, and it works. The fans work. They don't make stupid noises. I don't get cell connection errors. They just work, and they have a full feature set. So even though it's a little compact charger, the iCharger X6 is literally my favorite field charger right now. It's the one that goes in my box. I do like the Hoda F6. I would give the Hoda F6 a honorable mention, but the iCharger X6 is definitely my favorite standalone charger. These are good little chargers. If I only had one charger to choose from, this would be the one that I would take, without a question of a doubt. And you guys know how many chargers I've gone through. So the iCharger X6, treat yourself. You know, if you got a little Christmas cash burning a hole in your pocket, you should definitely check one of those little iCharger X6s out. So let's see. David Parker's here. What the heck, David? Is that David Paker or David Parker? Is that our David Parker? It says Paker. Hello, is it David? Hi. All right. Henry A., you're welcome. Great videos. Thanks, Henry. I appreciate that. Hassani, hello. Best in 24. Thank you, Patrick Henry. Happy New Year to everyone. Is the giveaway a bottle of bourbon? Fred, no, I can't give away hooch. Are you kidding me? Did you do a giveaway? We will do a giveaway tonight. You'll hear about it in a little while. You got to hang tight. I'm not going to announce it right away. Then you play, you know what it is, and then you take off. We don't get the views. I mean, come on. You got to play the YouTube game a little bit. All right, so that's it for the charger. Let's see, what's next? Oh, I want to bring this one up. Now, obviously, I'm a little biased, and as a review channel, I'm kind of violating my own code of conduct here, so I'm just going to tell you guys, yes, I'm biased. This is one of my favorite products of the year. Part of the reason for that is because I've sold a bunch of them. They're on my Etsy store. Links in the description. They're 17 bucks. I've had my Etsy store on vacation through the holidays, but I just opened it back up today, and I'll be taking orders for this again. You can see I've got my ER6 attached. I love this little gadget because it allows you to practice on your radio. So before you go out and fly, you can hook a receiver up like an ER6 and you can set everything up and test it out and see how it works. You can test out your configurations, you can test out mixes, you can work on things like offset and curves and differential and all that stuff. Is it a precise, balsa flyable model? No, it's not. It's a demonstrator, but it really is effective. And I use this quite a bit, actually, when I'm working on stuff, just to give myself a visualization. So on my Etsy store, one of my favorite products of the year. And apparently you guys like it too, because you keep buying them. I keep running out of stock on these. So I do appreciate those of you who buy them. Make sure you check out the Etsy store. Link is in the description for a little RCVR2. But that's a fun little gadget if you don't have one and you need help with your model setups. Especially if you're doing something that's kind of complex. If you're working on a mix or something like that, where you're worried about the flaps and the elevator and you want to know what happens if you push forward, does the elevator go in the right direction? It'll give you the opportunity to experiment and play around a little bit. So let's see. Fred says, going into 2024 looking good. I haven't crashed in 3 months. Yeah, well, I know the backstory on why too. David Parker says, yeah, that's me. How about that? We have Fred and Dave. Like, hey, I'm gonna drink to Fred and Dave. Fred and Dave, my cameraman, my sidekicks. You guys are awesome. Always love having you guys on the channel. Cheers, boys. Thanks for being part of RC Video Reviews all year. And if you guys don't know, man, Dave and Fred, they actually put in the labor, man. They put in the time. They show up at the field. They listen to me ramble on my, take after take after take after take. And Dave makes fun of me sometimes. Fred makes a little fun sometimes. But anyway, they're good guys. And, if it weren't for them, the video quality on the channel would still be limited to the GoPro on the hat. So cheers to you guys. I do appreciate the work you help put into RC Video Reviews. Let's raise a glass to Fred and Dave. Good guys. Good guys. Very good to have on the channel. I really appreciate you boys. All right, Ben Pap, when are you doing the giveaway? I don't know, Ben. We'll do it when we do it, man. Relax. Take a pill. We'll get to it, dude. Take a drink, man. Arctic RC just got the Hangar 9, the Beast, the best 100cc waiting for the snow to melt. Okay. You got snow, huh? I know a lot of the guys aren't getting much snow. They're not getting a whole lot. Todd Koffler, definitely got to grab one of those. Yeah, the RCVR2. Yeah, get one. RCVR2. All right. We're going to get in. The next thing we're going to get into, and I'm going to say that generally speaking, I'm going to say that this to me is basically the tech of the year. And we'll put the big camera up and we'll talk a little bit about this. So the tech of the year is not necessarily Radiomaster, although obviously I have a great affinity for Radiomaster. To me, the tech of the year is ExpressLRS. And let me explain myself. The reason I say this is because ExpressLRS just had a banner year, man. They had a banner year. They came out with some upgrades that allowed S-Bus, which for fixed wing people was a boon. And then obviously PWM, that was also a boon. And then the remapping capabilities. And in terms of the radio link, I'm just going to tell you guys, after flying almost exclusively ExpressLRS for a full year, I'm going to say that this is the RF tech I trust. I put it in everything I have except my helicopters. And the only reason I don't use it in my other helicopters right now is because they're all set up and running, and I don't really want to take them apart and break it just to change the RF tech. That's the only reason. But everything that I have that's new, it gets ExpressLRS in one form or another. So ExpressLRS, to me, tech of the year, hands down, easy call. They've done an amazing job. And here's the thing. Brian is kind of one of the moderators and one of the leaders on the ExpressLRS team. And, we'll talk, we talk every now and then. We get on, Discord or in other channels and we talk. And sometimes if you make a suggestion, they say, yeah, that's something, we'll think about it. And sometimes they say, are you crazy? Go away. But the thing about it is they're actively curating the project. And that to me is the most important thing. So whether or not they think everything is a good idea, that doesn't matter. What matters to me is that they're very thoughtful in what they do. So they spend everything, in my estimation, everything that I've seen related to ExpressLRS has been thought out. Now, whether or not I agree with it, that's a different story. But they think through it, right? And they always have a reason. Just like me, there's always a method behind their madness. And for that reason, that's one of the reasons I love it. And it's open source, so there's nothing secret about it. They put everything out there. You can see what's going on. They engage the community. And now the tech is really starting to flower, right? It's really starting to make its way into mainstream hardware like the Radiomaster. So this is an ExpressLRS radio. I switched to that this year. And all of my stuff now flies ExpressLRS in one form or another. So to me, Brian, I'm going to raise a glass to Brian and the entire ExpressLRS team and say, cheers, guys. Thank you for your hard work. I know you guys are doing a great job. I appreciate the hard work you put into it. And I'm just glad. This is what I mean. It's just a wonderful time to be in the hobby because we have access to very approachable and highly reliable and well thought out technology. So for that, I say cheers. So there you go, ExpressLRS. Okay, now I'm going to shift gears and we're going to move away from ExpressLRS and talk about Radiomaster. So Radiomaster, this is my daily flyer. So obviously I have an affinity for Radiomaster, right? It just makes sense. And of course, EdgeTX. We cannot forget EdgeTX because they also, when it comes to firmware, very thought out, very methodical. They've got an organization, they've got a plan, and they try and stick to the plan. They're doing a great job with development. But what I like to say about Radiomaster is kind of like the glue that pulls it all together. So we've got EdgeTX out there being developed by one team. We've got ExpressLRS being developed by another team. I know they talk. I know they know each other, and I know they talk. Obviously, they communicate. But Radiomaster is the one that they're the ones that they're the catalyst for bringing the technology into the retail consumer space so that we can procure this stuff and use it in our airplanes. So I want to give a tip of the hat to Radiomaster because this year I think they've done a fantastic job really advancing the ball for ExpressLRS and making it much more mainstream because you've got the internal radio options now, and they've got that with the TX16S, which is of course the current flagship. They've got it with the Boxer, with the Pocket Radio, with the Zorro, available in all of those form factors. And then they went freaking crazy putting out receivers this year with the entire lineup. If you guys saw those videos, right? We did the ER4, ER6, ER8, the GV, the Glider series, the 6 and the 8. So, they went nuts with the receivers. We got a lot of receivers, and there's more coming, right? The RP2, the True Duo, the RP3, or is that the 4? I get them mixed up. But anyway, the one I just did, the True Dual receiver, that one just came out. So they are really rounding out the portfolio. Oh, and the dongle, right? They just put the dongle out. So what's happening here is we're seeing a complete RF ecosystem based on open source. And for me, that's 2 thumbs up, because I love the open source concept, because the reason is because those people are pilots. They're hobbyists and they're engaged. They're not just off in a corner doing their own thing, subject to corporate whims. They're doing what's best for the hobby. And so that's why I love it. And that's why I want to give a little tip of the hat to Radiomaster for doing such a great job building out the ExpressLRS ecosystem, connecting it to Edge, and giving us retail equipment that's affordable and approachable. It's a fair price for what they're doing. So Radiomaster, keep up the great work. Thanks for awesome 2023. And I'm definitely looking forward to a 2024. So TX16S, that's my daily driver right there. This is one I fly every single day. And I use these receivers in my really nice planes. And I want to give an honorable mention to these guys. These are the little Happy Model EPW6s. And the reason I'm pointing these out, $14. And this does CRS. I got some fuzz on there. And come on, fuzz, go away. $14, and it's 6 channels of PWM, S-Bus, and CRSF, and stupid reliable. I've put these on so many planes. I've got all kinds of analytic data proving how reliable these are, and of course the VBAT sensor. So these are just really awesome to have in your stash. You $14, you toss them in a plane, and you've got an RF link to beat the band. Literally, no doubt, man. Really good receivers. I've used these quite a bit, and I'm very happy with them. I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm just not going to say it out loud. They're good. Let's leave it at that. So Happy Model EPW6. And of course, if you really want that solid connection, get the dual antenna ER6 and the Radiomaster stuff. This whole little arrangement, man, it's definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's go back and we'll check comments, see what else is going on. Let's see. I'm a newbie. I got a new RC plane, the FMS Ranger. Ooh, nice. FMS Ranger, very good. That's a nice airplane. Fred's got the Ranger. Great trainer. There he goes. Fred's talking about it. I believe there's a video somewhere. I think so. Henry says ELRS. Hooray. That's right, man. Hooray. ExpressLRS. Dude, if you're not on ExpressLRS, you are straight up missing out. No doubt about it. Brian says Radiomaster is so affordable. Yeah, I think so. But totally approachable. To me, I think it's the best value in the market. I just think it's the best value in the market. I don't think you can beat this from an equipment capability standpoint. It's just not possible. Ben says, I haven't flown it because I got it for Christmas and I went on a holiday. I'm going to fly it today. Very nice. Well, go get it, man. Have fun with it. Captain Bry says, for sure, Ben and all of the Radiomaster truly love the hobbies and are true partners. Yeah, they are, Captain Bry. And, I know it's a little bit like a family, right? Sometimes, we knock heads a little bit, but as long as everyone is trying to drive in the same direction, that's all that really matters at the end. And everyone tries to drive the ball forward, and that's what I love about this little ecosystem that's going on. Fred says, I threw a 2200 milliamp hour, got 8 to 9 minutes. He's talking about the Ranger. Fred likes that Ranger. He did great on that. Landed it the first day just like a little cupcake, man, like a little feather. Arctic RC says, we're doing a video for the Locust Shop about an economic pack with radio, plane charger, and the radio is in a Radiomaster 16-channel ELRS. A little challenge for me since I grew up with Spectrum. Watch videos, man. I've helped a lot of people migrate to the dark side. So I have a lot of material on the channel. What I always recommend to people is if you're going to make the move from Spectrum to EdgeTX and a Radiomaster, before you start touching your planes, just go get the radio, sit down on my channel, start watching the videos, and just go through them and mess around with the radio and then learn how to reset the radio. And once you've done that, after that, you just you'll figure it out and you'll reach a point where the light just clicks. When the light goes on, you'll be like, I get it now. And then you're unstoppable. So I tell that to people all the time. That's the way to handle it, right? And then once the light clicks on, then sure, go ahead and migrate your planes over and you'll get it. It's not, there's just this moment. You take this little, you got you know what the real problem is that we've become a society of instant gratification. We just want everything to work right now. And the software folks can do some of that work for us. Obviously, they do a good job there. But part of it has to be incumbent on us to go do the research and the homework. So if you're willing to put in a little time learning, believe me when I tell you the payoff is there. You'll be rewarded with a solid, you can do anything with EdgeTX. There's yet to be a problem I've encountered on EdgeTX on an airplane that I couldn't solve. And then with the ELRS, with the ELRS ecosystem, you can't lose when it comes to RF tech. ELRS is just hands down. The ELRS is a straight up mic drop, man. Straight up mic drop. So just do the time and you'll get there. Rambo Flight Ken says, let's give Pascal Langer a salute to. Yes, absolutely. No question about it. In fact, that multi-protocol module, if you're coming from different ecosystems, that NPM module is a fantastic bridge, right? From wherever you are into the ExpressLRS system, because you can go out and get either an internal 4-in-1. This is what I did. I bought the 4-in-1 module initially, and I ran that internal, and I added ExpressLRS on the back. And then once I found myself migrated over, I said, well, you really don't need a 4-in-1 anymore. That's when I bought the straight up internal. But yes, absolutely, the 4-in-1 module, no question about it. That's definitely a spectacular bridge device. So good call out, Rambo Flight Ken. Good job. Hey, we'll raise a glass to Pascal too, man. Cheers. Thank you for the work on the 4-in-1, because you're definitely creating a bridge into this world, certainly with the Radiomaster. Good call out, man. That's a good one. Captain Bryce says Pascal is a legend. He kills it with NPM to make it fly. That's right, man. Fly just about anything. No question about it. Ben says, I think I'm going to start getting into RD planes. I like it and I haven't flown it. Yeah, you're going to love RC, man. It's fun. RV, RC, RD, we get you. Riz says, calling in from Northern California. Love your ELRS setup videos. Well, thank you, Riz. Glad you joined, man. Thanks for chiming in. And Ben finally got the RC out. We got you, Ben. Radiomaster makes it easy and keeps it simple. That's right, man. 4 eyes. No question. All right, let's set that one aside. Now I'm going to show you guys the dumbest thing. You're going to be like, "What? He's gone around the bend this time." That's what you guys are going to say. These little things. These are one of my favorite finds of the year, and they're back in stock. In the description, there's a link for these. These are the Solo Good. They're balance extenders. Let me explain why I like these. If you guys fly quads, you know that the quad balance lead is about that long, and when you try and plug it in, it's a pain in the neck. You know what I'm talking about. These things are awesome because they're slotted. And because they're slotted like that, you can go anywhere from a 2S to a 6S. See the little teeth right there? They're slotted. So you plug this into your charger like it at, and then you can plug in your balance lead for any kind of battery, whether it's a little short tail quad balance lead or a long regular fixed wing battery pack, it doesn't matter. And the other advantage is you're not constantly plugging in and out of your charger, which is a good idea. So if you pair that up with a pigtail right here, then you can connect and disconnect from out here, and you never mess with your charger. So just keep that in mind. These things, it was a stupid find. I found them when I bought the Hoda F6, and I love them. I bought a little stash of these. They're back in stock on Amazon, so check them out. They're only a couple dollars. You can get like a 6-pack of them, and I just love these things for chargers, man. I use these in my field box. I use them on my Hoda. I pretty much have them all over the place now. It's just kind of a no-brainer thing. So I know you guys would probably think I've gone over the bend, around the bend on these, but I'm telling you, those are nice little handy gadgets to have. And that way it preserves your charger. You don't constantly put stuff in and out on the charger, and you can extend your lead so you don't have to worry about the balance lead coming unplugged when you plug in the mains. Makes me crazy. It's a nice little device. It's kind of like a balance board. It's almost like a balance board concept, obviously one battery, but you get the idea. So check those out when you get a chance. All right, let's see comments. We're going to go back to comments here. Henry A says, hey, Ben, you won't regret it. That's right. I've been thinking about the 4-in-1. Does the TX12 have 3-way switches? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think it does. Maybe you're talking about the MX12 or the TX12? The TX12 is the little one, the little handheld, 2-stick radio. I got that one and did a review. I just didn't use it to fly. It's too small for me. So I don't remember if that has 3 positions or not. Dave says the Radiomaster radios are definitely the best bang for the buck, hands down. Yeah, they are, David, man, no question. It's hard to beat them in the value prop department. I was just looking today, and I think $229 for like the Mark II with the V4 gimbals. I'm pretty sure that's about right with the chrome, the CF faceplate. Definitely, man, definitely a good radio. Hard to beat it. I'll make a confession to you guys. I actually thought about getting a different radio system this year just to try something different. And when I thought about it, I was like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not, it's not worth it. Every time I looked at the price of the receivers like, whoa, they're proud of those, $75. Nah, I don't think so. Not worth it. Hard to beat the value prop on a Radiomaster, that's for sure. Ben says, hey, I didn't really know the controls on the radio on the Ranger 1200. I don't really know the controls on the radio on the Ranger 1220. You need to get on Discord, Ben. Join our Discord. Links in every description. We can help you out on Discord. That sounds like a Discord question to me. All right, let's see. What else is next? Oh, here we go. This is another one. I'm just going to throw this out here. These Liperior batteries. I don't know what to say about them. They've got every size you can imagine. They did have some stock problems earlier in the year, but eventually they got it sorted out. And these are the Liperior batteries, and I use these for everything. I've got them for my helicopters. I've got them for my fixed wing planes. I've got pretty much every size. I mean, Dave flies with me all the time. He sees them. I've got 3300, 6000s, 5000s. I've got the 5000 heavies for the helicopters. I've got a 6200 for my 73 inch or my 70 inch, the 70 inch slick. Yeah, the big one. I've got 2200s for the small planes. They have every size and capacity you want. And they did fix their stock problems, so that's kind of gone away. All I can say is I'm a huge fan of these Liperior batteries. Price-wise, they're also hard. It's hard to compete with them. Now, I know the other brand that I've heard this year that I've kind of been interested in checking out, I was for a little while until I got a later field report, that was SMCs. And I know people think highly of SMCs, but for me, these Liperior right now gets my money. That's all I can say. They've been very predictable, very, very predictable and very reliable batteries. So I like them. They deliver the power. They measure up. I do checking, I check the capacity on them from time to time, and they just always seem to measure up. So Liperior batteries, that's another one of my product of the year. I'm glad I found them. I'm glad they're out there. And if you're smart about it, they do free shipping over $100. So save up your order. And when you're ready, when you have a couple of batteries that you need, that's when you place your order and get that free shipping. So free shipping over $99. And yeah, all I can say is their batteries hold up really well. I've been quite pleased with mine. So let's see. Comments, you guys are getting quiet. All right, well, drink. Here we go. Have a sip. Cheers. Happy New Year. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, I got a good one for what's next. This is one that took me completely by surprise, and that's these guys. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen some of this gear come into the picture, and I got to tell you, man, aside from the fact that they're a sponsor, right? I was not sponsored by Team Motor when I initially started using their stuff. They became a sponsor after I started using their stuff. And I got to tell you, they are really making a splash in the fixed wing space. They have a great reputation in the quad space. The quad guys know already the Team Motor stuff. They get very high ratings. And they're making a big entry in the fixed wing space. So the airplane for this motor just showed up. This is a sponsored motor. Team Motor sent me this one. This is the AM670. I did a first look video on this motor, and I was waiting for the plane to show up in stock. We'll cover that in just a little while. But the plane came in stock, and I have it. I have the plane now. So just got it yesterday. So this motor, the AM670, also the AM600, awesome. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. The AM670 is on the slick. This is the AM780. This is the next size up, 78 inch, 780. Sorry. The 670, you can get that. You can't get this one yet. This is pre-release. So they've got the AM780, the AM670, and the AM600 in the 60-inch plus size, and they've been fantastic. And what I really like about them are these ESCs, the 116 amp AM116s. The reason I like them is because they've got BL Heli. You can get in there and configure them with BL Heli. And so far, my experience with them has been fantastic. They don't have this idle up requirement for the larger motors. They just spool up very, very smoothly, and they deliver the power. So I've been very pleased with the quality of the Team Motor stuff. And they even have some props. I did not bust out. I have a carbon fiber prop. They make a spectacularly good carbon fiber prop. And then this one is they call it the X Carbon, it's a hybrid prop. So this thing is very rigid. It's a plastic hybrid, carbon and plastic hybrid prop, but very, very rigid, very affordable. and very quiet, always well balanced. So I've been super impressed with what I've been seeing out of T-Motor in terms of quality, power. Their stuff just works well together. I love the fact that you got BL Heli on the ESC. Dave and I were just actually talking about this in the field today, standardizing software on ESCs. So I really like the fact that they're doing that. I'm hoping they come up with bigger stuff. I'd like to see a 200, maybe a 220 amp ESC for the larger, the larger airframes. And obviously they're thinking about larger airframes when they've come out with 40cc equivalent motors. So very happy that T-Motor is in. I still love Sunny Sky. I still like Dual Sky. But for me, this is about competition, right? So the more competitors we get, the more we have on a drive to making things better and making them more cost effective. So I've been pleasantly surprised with what's been going on with T-Motor this year. They took me by surprise. I didn't see it coming. I also want to give an honorable mention to the force combos on Extreme Flight by Skywing. Make sure you check those out. Those are dual sky setups. They use the Hobby Wing V3 ESCs. They're one generation older, but they're like 70. They have a 70E for a 60 class setup and the servos that go with it. So bottom line is you buy one of those Power Force combos and it works with the entire. Everything is designed to work together. It's designed for the airframe, the ESC, the motor, and the prop, all designed to work together. And they're really nice power combos as well. That's what I have in the Laser, and I've been very pleased with it. It's been very solid, good performing setup. So they get an honorable mention, that force combo from Skywing. Okay, so both of these are available at Extreme Flight. You can get the ESC. You cannot get this motor yet. This is pre-production. You can get the 670 and the AM600. You cannot get the 780 yet. I don't know when they'll be in stock, but I assume soon, because this is like, this is ready, right? This is exactly how the retail boxes look. So that's ready to come out. So just be on the lookout if you're in the 78-inch airframes. And this is not the ESC for this motor. Don't worry. I need a bigger ESC for this. This is for the helicopter, actually, the raw. All right. So the T-Motor, that was another really neat surprise this year. I've been very pleased with what they've been producing as well. So let's see. I got to get a radio in here. I'm going to check comments. Let's see. Freddie says cheers. Okay. Fred says cheers. He raised the glass. Cheers. Back at you. Happy New Year, fellas. Hope you have a great 2024. Happy New Year. Let's see. Rambo Flight Ken says, do you have a preferred prop balancer? I'll tell you what, you're on Discord. I do have one. I think it's the Great Plains balancer. It's the one with the two sets of legs on the sides and the two plastic, I don't know what they're called. They're like two plastic sleeves that ride up and down on the pins, and they've got discs inside on the top. So you can rearrange it. You can do big props, small props. That's my preferred. If you get on Discord later, remind me. I'll pop a link in Discord for you and show you what that looks like. Let's see. Captain Bryce says, holy smokes, that motor ain't small. Nope, that's for a big airplane. That's a 78-inch plane, man. That's a big one. And Dave will be putting that plane together for me. So Dave's got a 78-inch extra NG now, and I've got a 78-inch extra NG, and he's going to put mine together for me. I talked him into it. I Tom Sawyer'd him. I think he Tom Sawyer'd me. That's what really happened. Patrick Henry says, big motor must be a big plane. Yeah, we'll get into that next, as a matter of fact. Ben says, bye. I'm going to fly my plane from Australia. We'll have fun, Ben. Take it easy. David says, yep, we're getting ready to check that motor out. Can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're going to put that motor on a plane and get that sucker flying. So here we go. Speaking of which, I'm going to put this on the workbench, let you take a look at that. So here's the deal. I thought about this one long and hard because I wanted to give credit where credit is due, but I also want to acknowledge that the community has there's a lot of different avenues in radio control, right? You've got helicopters, you've got quads, you've got foamies, you've got balsa, you've got sport, 3D, pattern, scale. And then within all of those disciplines, you have different forms of flying. So it's really hard to go in and say, well, I'm going to say the best plane of the year is, because everybody is going to have, depending on what they do, they're going to have a very different point of view. So what I would say about this, here is the cowl for that 78-inch airplane. And what I wanted to do is just recognize Extreme Flight as being what I consider to be basically like the best 3D manufacturer, right? I'm I'm not a 3D plane or a 3D I'm like not an expert 3D pilot, but I can assess the performance of a plane. And I can tell you that, from a quality standpoint, Extreme Flight just really has stuff figured out. Like their construction process, their assembly process, their quality control functions are all spectacular. They just produce a top shelf product. So that's all there is to it. So here's the cowl for the 78 inch. The only reason I brought this in tonight was to give this use it for representation, because I cannot fit an Extreme Flight plane on this desk. But I want to go ahead and acknowledge Extreme Flight is probably, if you guys really want to treat yourself to a nice airplane, try and get an Extreme Flight plane. And they have a lot of options. You don't always have to go for the big stuff. Like they've got up to like 125 inch planes. They've even got bigger than that now. But they've got 48 inch planes. In fact, they've got some 48 inch plug-in plays that are about $500. And while you may say, oh man, that's still a lot of money, it's really not if you think about buying a balsa airframe and an ESC and a motor and a prop and the servos, right? All of that stuff's included in the plug-and play, and they build it for you. So when you start adding it together, that's really a pretty competitive price. So I would encourage you, if you've never flown one, try one. That's all I'm going to say. One of the comments, Dave and I were just talking about this at the field the other day. Today, I think it was today we were talking about it. No, it wasn't today. It was yesterday. One of the comments that I get from time to time is, hey, I'm not a 3D pilot. What would you think about one of these Extreme Flight planes for a sport pilot? And my answer is simple. If you can live with the fact that these 3D planes don't have dihedral, which means no inherent stabilization, and the wings are symmetrical, which means they will fly whichever direction you point them. They will not self-correct. They're neutral. If you can live with those two facts, and then you set it up for sport flying, which means you don't use the barn door and have it go 90 degrees to make a movement, and you just set it up for sport flying, and maybe just a touch nose heavy, you will be rewarded with the best flying sport plane you've ever laid your hands on. And that's what's so cool about Extreme Flight stuff. I just love them. I think Extreme Flight has some of the highest quality airplanes you can buy today. So this is the 78 inch extra NG. Dave will be putting this one together for me. This is what's getting the 780 motor, and I can't wait. I love it. Now, I also want to give an honorable mention on something, and I didn't bring him in, so I don't have anything to show you, but I do want to give an honorable mention, and that is to FMS. And the reason I'm bringing up FMS, because I had, if you follow the channel, you know that during the year, I think I probably have reviewed somewhere around 15, maybe a few more of their airplanes. And while they weren't all flawless, right? The F-16 comes to mind, the one without the rudder, that comes to mind. I think the F-16 Fighting Falcon jet, it flew well. I don't mean to pick on the F-16, but you're talking about 3 minutes of flight time. The Rafale, I like the Rafale. Rafale is spectacular looking, the big yellow 80 millimeter, spectacular looking plane, but man, does that thing hit the batteries. You put some big batteries in there, it hits them pretty hard. But what I would say overall is I gotta give FMS the nod for making the approachable plane. So the real surprises to me on the FMS side were the Pitts V2. That thing was insanely good. I didn't think I'd care for it that much because it's a biplane, and I still struggle a little bit with the concept of carrying a biplane to the field because they just take up a lot of space. But I can tell you, I really wound up enjoying that plane. The FMS Futura, spectacular. Both the 80 millimeter Futura and the little 64 millimeter Futura, that was excellent. We were talking about the Ranger earlier today. That Ranger taught Fred. Fred took to that like a duck to water. That was a good little airplane. So overall, I just have to really give props to FMS for making a good, approachable airplane. The PC-21 was excellent. That little Fox motor glider, that thing was pretty cool. So the Super Cub, the PA-18, that actually went home with Shane's son. That was a good little plane. The Easy Trainer was spectacular. The Cessna was good. The Sky Trainer. I did a lot of their stuff this year, so I have a lot of hands-on experience with it. And what I would say is that None of them are particularly overpowered, but I thought for the most part they were sufficient, right? They did the job. They were perfectly manageable in the sky. I didn't really have, aside from a couple handling gripes and some battery consumption gripes, I really didn't have any problems with the FMS planes. They, QA wise, they were all done well. All the parts were always there. Oh, that P-51 Miss America, that thing flew. That sucker was fast. That was a quick airplane, and some guys upgrade that to 6S. I was flying mine on 4S. The Thunderbolt, I had a great time with that 70mm A10 Thunderbolt. I called that the wolves and sheep, or the sheep and wolf's clothing. It looks scary, but it flies like a great big trainer. Very cool. And of course, the little Rafale, I did that one, and the F4U Corsair. They just did a great job this year. They were a great sponsor for the channel, and I think they have a good product. Is it an Extreme Flight Extra NG? No, absolutely not. It's not. But they're not priced like that either. So there's a difference, right? There's a trade-off, right? If you want a very precision built, carbon fiber infused balsa shrink cover plane, with a multicolor graphics painted on scheme like this, you're going to pay for that versus something that can be a little more easily mass produced. And that's what you get in the EPO space. So I'd say FMS really impressed me this year. They have a huge selection of planes. If you can't find something at the FMS website that you want to fly, you're probably not looking hard enough, or you just don't like foamies. That's possible. But overall, I'd say they definitely deserve an honorable mention. They're very good, and they've been a great partner for the channel too. So with that said, hey, that sounds like an excuse to raise a glass to all the sponsors. So whether you're a new sponsor, like we just started working with Hobby Zone, or you're a longtime sponsor like Radiomaster, or now FMS, we've had a little relationship going. I just want to raise a glass to all my sponsors and thank you guys for all your support of the channel. You've been amazing. And got to remind me, I got some news for the fly-in too. So here's a cheers to all. Oh, PCBWay, can't forget about them. They don't send hardware, but they do the ad spots, and that helps too. So raise a glass to the sponsors of the channel. Thank you guys. Okay, that's it for the airplane stuff. I'm going to set that aside. And I just realized when I turned around, I left one out, of course. This is another one that I'm going to go and give some props to. Again, I'm not like an expert 3D pilot. I can fly them. I can fly 3D. I can fly the 3D helicopters. I can do some stuff, but I'm not like Rob. I'm not a highly tuned 3D pilot, but I can fly them around and have a little fun. But OMP, the reason I want to give them the kind of like the heli lineup of the year nod is because of what they're doing. They have a full suite, right? They've got the M1, the M2 Evo, the M4. Everyone knows the M7 is coming. And from a quality standpoint, they're right there. I mean, they're shipping their helicopters with Ultimates, Realtek Ultimates. These are the good blades, right? They're expensive. And their hardware, their assembly, fit and finish, the way they fly in the sky, all of that is very, very good on these helicopters, and they're approachable in price. So I got to give OMP a nod as well. They've done a great job building out a lineup and making it affordable and attainable. Like, they're in stock. You can actually find their stuff when you go to buy it. Now, of course, some of you guys are going to go, well, I went to buy my M4 and I couldn't. Okay, when they first do a launch, like anybody else, there's a little bit of hype and you got to move quick. Right. So, that's fair. It's fair to say that. But outside of a newly released product, they do a pretty good job of keeping things in stock. So I'm really happy that OMP is really stepping up their game in the heli space. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and we look forward to a lot more great things out of OMP. And I know there are other manufacturers. My latest helicopter is actually an SAB. I've got Trons. I haven't tried Gooski yet. I'm going to. I want to try a Gooski product and see what I think of those. But yeah. OMP, I think this year they did a great job really building out their lineup. And then another little neat product this year, you can see it right there, that Red Spirit GT. That's the one that's got the GPS module. I admit I have not done enough flying on this, but the holidays kind of got started right about the time this is ready to go. So I promise there will be more information on that to come. You just got to hang tight. So definitely more to come on the OMP M4 and the Spirit G2. And I've been asked to take a look at the H1, so I may take a look at that as well. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of time left. we got a lot to work on. All right, let's see. Big motor. Let's see. Gonna be big. Okay, yeah, getting ready. Fast Freddy says, "Hey Dave, have you gotten the 520 into the fuselage yet?" Aero Modelissimo Patagonio Argentina says, "Hello from Argentina. Well, how you doing, man? Glad you can make it." Brian says, "FMS is 2 flagships to me is the Pitts and the Tiger Cat." You know, I asked for the Tiger Cat and they were out of stock. I'm still gonna try and get that plane. But yeah, the Pitts I like. You know, I saw a lot when I first got the Pitts going. I did see some comments about putting the battery retention mechanism in, which I did. And I saw other comments about the CG, which I think are completely wrong. I would keep moving that CG back. I saw a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to push the CG way up. It's wrong. It's stupid tail heavy." I completely disagree with that. In fact, I kept moving the CG back as far as I could. In fact, I might even put some weight in the back. But anyway, I really enjoyed that Pitts. And power-wise, I know there's also some talk about converting that to 6S, and fine, you know, whatever, if you want to do that. But I didn't have any problems with the power level. For what that plane is, it's fine. It does great. I know, and by the way, you guys know I love high-powered stuff, right? But for that plane, it was fine. I like the Pitts. I still have it. I still fly it. So let's see. Riz says, "Any thoughts on FPVing the Viper V2? A couple of my friends are gearing it up with the 03 in it." You know, I think the problem I have with that, Riz, is flight time. So I flew the Viper, and you're looking at 3.5, maybe 4 minutes. And for FPV, that doesn't do it for me. If I'm going to FPV a plane, I want something that can be in the air for 10, 15 minutes. You got to remember, my point of view with FPV, I used to fly for over an hour at a time. So, doing a 3 or 4 minute flight, that doesn't do it for me. I'm not interested in that. If I were going to do a jet on FPV, I'd probably be looking at the Avanti V3 because you can get an honest 7.5 minutes out of that, depending on how you fly it. Dan says the Pitts V2 is a very good flying biplane. Yeah, and it looks beautiful in the sky too. I practiced landing that one, and I was able to get that thing landing with a run out of about 3 feet. I just got it to flare and just touch down and just roll about 3 feet, and it was done. So it's a beautiful plane, and that's with my aft center of gravity. So anyway, it was good. I liked it. All right, I think that's it on the comments. I don't see anything. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this next thing that I want to talk about. This guy. What I'm going to do here is bring up the big camera, and I just want to show you guys what I consider. I'm getting sweat from my glass on my desk pad there. What I consider to be probably one of the best setups you can put in a model today if you want a receiver and a stabilizer. And the reason is because the A3 Super 4 now supports CRSF natively. It has an assignable mode channel, which means if you are stuck with channel 5 being the arming switch on ExpressLRS and you can't remap it, so you're not in a position to remap it, whatever, you can so say you're doing an S-bus, in other words, you're doing S-bus in, you can set your mode to be whatever channel you want, which is really cool. And it supports a PC-based configuration tool that's super easy to use, and it's $30. So I have a link for this in the description as well. This is the A3 Super 4. It's got the little programming interface, the little dongle, the cable, the gyro itself. And when you configure these gyros, you just spend a little bit of time working on them. They are so good in the air. Like you just set the gains, work on your gains. It's got remote master gain. It's got all the modes you could want. It's got 3D modes and hover mode and auto level mode and angle mode and stabilize mode. It's got all the modes you can ever want. You can assign whichever ones you want. You can do 3 position, 6 position. It's ridiculous how configurable these are, and $30. So this is the giveaway. If you want the A3 Super 4, you got to leave a comment in the video when the video is over that says, "Gimme the A3 Super 4. Gimme, Gimmie. You guys know how to spell that, right? Let me just help you out. Like that. You got to say gimme, and it's got to be in the comments after the video is over, not in the chat window where I just did it. That's the chat. That doesn't count. You got to do it in the comments after the video is over, and you can enter as many times as you want. So if you want a Hobby Eagle A3 Super 4, I'm going to give one away tonight. Just say gimme, and I'll do a random drawing, and we'll pick one Wednesday. The rule is Wednesday at midnight. I'll pick the winner, and the winner will be announced on the PilotJam next Friday. So, and what'll happen is when I announce the winner, you will have 24 hours from the time I announce the winner to come back and give me an email address and an address and a government issued ID showing me that you're over the age of 18 or older, and you can redact any confidential information. I do not want social security numbers. I don't care, about what blood type you are. I don't care about any of that. I just need to know that you're over the age of 18 because I don't deal with minors. Okay. And when you've done that, then I will send this A3 Super 4, not this. I'll send this to your address. No shipping charges. You don't pay anything except VAT. If VAT applies, you'll pay that. But I will send this to you. No shipping charges, okay? So that's the giveaway. Make sure you leave a comment after the video's over that says, gimme, 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 gimme. All right. We are round and third heading for home at this point. I'm going to check the comments here. Brian says, oh, sweet. Yeah, man, those A3 Super 4s are really good. I love them. I use them. I don't put them in the big planes because the big planes just generally don't need them. But anything like 60 inch, 60 inch or smaller, yeah, they generally get a stabilizer. Let's see. David says, we'll install the fuselage on the XL520 this year. I may try to talk John into making a video of the Maiden. Woo! I'll do a Maiden for that one. That'd be fun. All right. Have you done a giveaway? That's pretty funny, dude. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Next up. This is the last. I think this is the last gadget. It is. This is the last gadget. All right. I've talked about this. I don't know. I think this single product this is almost like product of the year. Almost. Not quite. No, I have one more thing I'm going to show you. I do have one more thing, so don't go anywhere. We're going to get into that. This little guy, the VM600, there's a link in the description. I'll tell you guys why I like this one so much. If you didn't catch any other videos where I explained it, this thing is like 19 bucks, 18 bucks, and it's comparable. I've measured it compared to a Fluke 87.5, which is a $400 meter, and they're within like 0.002 of each other. So it's an ridiculously, insanely accurate meter for $19. And it does current as well, up to 20 amps. You can measure 20 amps of current with this one. And it's got all the traditional functions. It's got a backlight, a little flashlight. You press and hold that. It's got the little flashlight up there. See that? Isn't that cool? So it's backlit, of course. It's just a really good meter. So I've kind of shown this one a few times. And the main reason I keep showing it to you is because if you haven't bought one yet, go get one. It's ridiculously good for the money. I mean, even if you just want to throw it in your toolbox as a spare, I can't believe how good it is for 19 bucks. Very accurate. And I've said this before on the other videos where I've talked about this meter. You don't even have to take my word for it. Just go out and Google on YouTube. Get on YouTube and search VM600. VM600A. It's Venlab 6,000 count meter. Just go out and Google and check out the electronics channels and see what they say. Listen to those guys. I'm not an electrician. You know that. I'm not an electronics wizard. You guys know that. I know how to use the tools, but those guys that do these reviews, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. But that's an amazing, one of the best finds of the year. No doubt about it. All right. Marco J says, Happy New Year. Oh, there's some parties. Marco's got some fireworks. Happy New Year, Marco. Congratulations. I like your fireworks. Cheers, everybody. Dave says that's a very nice, accurate meter, and the price is ridiculously low. It is. It's hard to beat, man. 19 bucks. All right. We got one more thing to show. And this one, I did a video and I said this was my favorite gadget of the year, and I'm going to stand by it. It still is my favorite gadget of the year, and that's these LifePo batteries. So I did videos on this. If you want to check them out, search for this term on my channel, LifePo 4. And the cool thing about these is I built a power bank for my car. These batteries are basically incombustible. They don't like to burn. They resist burning. So I put them in my car, put them in series, and I've got two 12.8 volt, 100 amp hours. These are a little bit smaller, but 100 amp hours. And so that means I've got 25 volts in series, 100 amp hours. So both of my batteries are 100 amp hours each. They're in series, so you keep the 100 amp hours, but the voltage is additive, right? You add the voltages together. So that's how I have mine set up in series. If you did them in parallel, you would get 100 amp hours, but still 12.8 volts. But the watt hours would be the same. That's just the way the math works. So anyway, I set mine up for to be wired in series, and I just love this little gadget because the main reason that I like it is because I can pull 100 amps off and I can push 100 amps in. That's what I love about it. So if I have a couple of different chargers like my field box connected, I can pull 100 amps out of the system and I can simultaneously push amps back in as well. I'm not sure. One thing I'm not sure about is, can I do 100 amps out and 100 amps in? I haven't tried that yet. Probably not. Although I don't know. I would have to do a little reading on that one. I'd have to do a little reading and check the rules out on that one. But anyway, I don't think I have enough juice to do that in any event. So even if I use like the Hoda and I put 4 channels, 4 6L5000s at 2C, that's 10 amps per channel. That's 40 amps max. So if I did 10 amps, I could do 40 amps out, I guess, and maybe I could take one and do like 30 amps in. I might be able to do 70. That's about it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can do 100 and 100 combined, but what I do know is I can do 10 and 10 combined or 20 and 20 combined. That's no problem at all. So I love that system because it lets me do regen discharge back into the battery. It means I can dump a flight pack really fast if I don't want to fly with it, and I can charge all day. On my setup, I can use 6L5000s and I can do, I think, 30 recharges in a single day, which is more than I'll ever fly. So it's a great little system, costs a little bit of money, but man, I'm completely self-sufficient when I go to the field now. I don't need to worry about AC. I don't need to worry about solar. I don't need to worry about sharing the power space. I don't need to worry about who's on the bench. I just operate out of my car. Nobody touches my stuff. It doesn't get wet. A lot of advantages. I kind of like it. So this was the best gadget of the year. And by the way, these guys were a sponsor as well this year. Power Queen, they saw my video and they said, hey, we love what you did with those batteries. Would you do a video for us? And I said, sure. And they sent me the batteries for review. So I've got links in the description for these as well. And they're very similar to the ones I used. The ones I used are no longer available, of course. But the Power Queen, I did some testing on the video. I showed how it works, and they did fine. They performed just fine. So these Power Queen batteries are in the description as well. And if you didn't see that video, you should make sure you check that out because this is definitely a cool little system. So that's it on the goodies. I thought if you guys haven't seen it, what's the price on those? They're about half, David. So I guess it's about, you go, I guess for 50 amp hours, about 120 bucks. So that's probably the measure, about 120 bucks. So if you want 100 amp hours, you're about 240. That's pretty close to accurate. That's actually pretty close to accurate across the board. So about 120 bucks per 50 amp hours. That's the way to look at it. And that'll give you a good rough order of magnitude pricing on what to do there. But yeah, that's that. So let's see. Bill finally made it. Happy holidays, Bill. Glad you can make it. Brian Chambers says, John, throughout the year, I've learned a lot from you. And for that, thank you. God bless and have a safe new year. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. And on that note, I think we were just going to close out. I was just going to go back and I set up a browser just to take a look at some of the videos throughout the year. It's kind of fun to go back and look. We did Joe Nall this year. That was a lot of fun. This is when I first started getting work from FMS, when they first started sending content to me. Some more, the FMS Flash was actually the first video I did for them. The Joe Nall videos were obviously very good. Look at that picture on that one. Isn't that a cool picture? I love the thumbnail on that one that says right here, this Joe Nall 2023. I think that's kind of cool. Let's see. PWM, 16 channels with ExpressLRS. Oh, we did. Oh, Fred and I and Tim, FL engineer, we went to Top Gun together this year, and Jets over Lakeland. We did that as well. I talked a little bit about gyros. There's the OMP M4 3D RC helicopter. Man, 8 months ago. Geez, that was a long time ago. The Game Changer, that's the laser, man. I love that. That laser, one of my favorite airplanes. That is definitely one of my favorite airplanes. That's a good one. There's the Jets video from Lakeland as well. So a lot of EdgeTX stuff. Edge had a banner year. A lot of stuff happening with development on Edge. They're up to 2.9, and 2.10 is right around the corner, so there'll be a lot coming up there. Let's see. And we ended the year. This is the last video of the year last year, the racks. Do you guys remember that? That's when Dave built the racks for me. The mobile racks, and I ended up building one more, and they're all full. They're all full. So yeah, it's been quite a year, and that's just the production stuff. And if I go over to the live videos, there's more. There's the PilotJams, of course, the AM6 780, the Raw 500 video, Christmas gift ideas, whole bunch of live streams. Oh, we did the battery fire one. You guys remember that? We had fun with that. The Radiomaster USB flasher. Man, it's been quite a year. It's been a busy year. 249 videos, man. Check it out. There's a video on the batteries right there. Showed you how to make the connectors and how to do the series connector. So, yeah, it's kind of fun to go back and look at the year and the content, man. There's a lot of content on this channel. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed spending the time with you guys too. So, thank you for being part of it and for riding along with me. Let's see. Bill says, great year, John. Congrats on all the sponsors. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. David Parker says, I wish you all a happy new year, lots of success and happiness, and we'll be back. That's right. We're going to do a lot more flying, man. A lot more flying. Dave and I are working on our skills all the time. We've been having a lot of fun flying together and teaching each other and pushing each other a little bit. Fred, of course, you know, Fred's always good to egg you on and push a little harder, see what else you can come up with. So I definitely look forward to a fantastic 2024 on RC Video Reviews. So with that, I don't really see any other questions. I don't see any other comments I need to address. So I think I'll raise the glass one more time to you guys and say cheers again. Thanks for being part of the channel. And I hope you all have a spectacular 2024. All right. Oh, hey, Google's talking to me. Hold on a second. Hey, Google, stop talking. That's kind of funny. I don't know why Google started talking. Hey, let me give you a little preview into what's coming. I have the last bit of hardware for the RAW is almost here. That's a surprise. Very few people know what's going on there. So that's a surprise. I've got the ESC for that. Last bit of hardware is coming in for that. We got the NG, so we're going to be doing the video on that. Oh, I know what I want to tell you guys. I told you there'd be a little surprise for the RCVR fly-in. If you didn't know, the last weekend of January 2024, we're having an RCVR fly-in at the Larks RC Club in Tavares, Florida. It's going to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to start early, and we're going to go until the sun goes away, or maybe a little before the sun goes away. So you're welcome to attend if you want. And this is another little surprise that I wanted to give you guys tonight. Radiomaster sponsored the event. So they sent me a bunch of gear. I have stuff to give away. I've got radios to give away. I've got, you know, swags type stuff to give away, neck straps and styluses and receivers and modules and radios. I've got all kinds of stuff to give away. So Radiomaster, thank you. Thank you very much, Radiomaster. I appreciate you. They're such a good partner to me, the channel and the community. So Radiomaster has just been a fantastic partner for radio control. So anyway, that's all, that'll all be given away. I haven't figured out how I'm going to give it away yet, but I'm going to give all of that stuff away during the fly-in. So if you're planning on coming to the fly-in, you have an opportunity to win something. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you. Again, it's the Larks RC Club in Tavares, Florida. It's going to be the last weekend of January. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We start early morning and we finish in the afternoon. And I think one of those nights, probably Saturday or something, we're probably going to go out to dinner. So if you'd like to join, you're welcome to come and hang out with us. I know there's probably about, I know there are some confirmations. I know people are traveling for this, so hopefully we'll have a good turnout. And this is our third event. This is the third time we've done this, and the guys have asked it to become an annual thing. So it looks like it'll be something we do every year. So looking forward to 2024. Be there, be square, says Freddie. That's right. All right, I think that's a great note to wrap it up. If I don't get a chance to talk to you before New Year's Eve, I hope you have a fantastic New Year. Be safe out there. You know, make sure you get those designated drivers. Just be safe. That's all that really matters. Just be safe. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for being part of the journey on RC Video Reviews. Happy New Year. Hey, go fly something.